So I'll just, keep one road under construction.
So you have 20 buildings, you start fixing them up, and you have the 20th building, you never quite finish it, and you keep working on it because you're going to really make it fancy.
Yeah.
And so the whole project, which would include fixing all 20 buildings,
cost me nothing. Cost me nothing to do.
Forever, because you can always just stall on the last building.
Isn't that cool?
That's very cool. Let's get in on this.
That's what I'm thinking. We definitely got to get in on this. And here it is, no match. No matching fund shall be required in order for an eligible entity to receive any amounts under this section. So, John, we can, as long as we can write the proposal, we don't need any money, which is good because we don't have any money. Then there's the whole emergency broadband infrastructure project. This is so that there's going to be a great broadband network, only, guess what? It's not for you and me, this wireless broadband network. It's for Lucy Napolitano and for FEMA and stuff. But there's a little clause in here, which is nice. The corporation shall negotiate and enter into, as it terms appropriate, roaming agreements with commercial network providers to allow the nationwide public safety interoperable broadband users to roam onto commercial networks and gain prioritization of public safety communications over such networks in times of an emergency. So a couple things going on here. One, of course, they're not going to build anything because it's just going to be doing network agreements because there's coverage. So and by the way, who's going to get in on these deals? AT&T, Verizon. It's going to be the same guys. And they get they get the money for free to build something out. Then they get to charge extra if the emergency services have to roam onto their networks. Let's face it, they'll be roaming all the time.
Yep.
And if there's some kind of emergency, there goes your Skype connection because they will have prioritization over the network in time of an emergency.
You have to stop here. Mm-hmm. What has this got to do with jobs?
Well, it'll take lawyers to put these agreements together, and there's lots.
It's a full employment act for lawyers.
Yes, exactly. So here it says public safety entity equipment is technically compatible. It's also this is for the Silicon Valley. It's for the Cisco's. So they got to make new, because they're auctioning off Spectrum. So they got to make new boxes. And the commercial network will be reasonably compensated. It's fantastic. Oh, and it says here, such access does not preempt or otherwise terminate or degrade all existing voice conversations or data sessions. Right. Then we have the bridge.
What was that again? Does this say Skype will still work? Because think about that.
Let me just read it to make sure. Commission may adopt rules if necessary in the public interest to improve the ability of public safety users to roam onto commercial networks, to gain priority access to commercial networks in an emergency if. So they can roam it. Okay, such access does not preempt or otherwise terminate or degrade all existing voice conversations or data sessions. That's pretty shaky language.
Yeah, it means it won't terminate all of them, so it can terminate 99% of them.
Yeah, some of them, exactly. But here's the one that I thought we could get in on, the Bridge to Work program. Now, this is very interesting. Part of this is the Pathways Back to Work, as a part of and this subtitle may be cited as the Pathways Back to Work Act of 2011. Essentially, the government will pay people to work at your company as like a paid volunteer.
Yeah, no, I heard about this. This has been discussed. That's one of the things I do know about. And it seems as though you hire you actually get an intern.
No, up to 38 hours a week.
Well, more than an intern.
That's more than an intern
plus.
Yeah, and they will get paid minimum wage in states that adopt this program, which, let's face it, everyone will adopt it. That's why I think it's
California,
great.
California for sure.
Yeah. So I can hire like 5 people. I don't have to pay them anything. And the state of California will pay them minimum wage to learn.
From the
Podfather.
The on high from the Podfather.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only problem, there is a downside to having the 5 people.
Yeah, why?
You have to manage them.
Yeah, I'm just saying. It's all just dreams, John. It's not actually something I want to do. But here it is. The wages payable to individuals described in paragraph 1 shall be paid from the emergency unemployment compensation account for such individuals as described. And I did all this work. You go back and forth, section 402, blah, blah, blah. But it will be a minimum wage. And there's 2 levels. You have the level for 25 hours a week. That will be part-time. And 38 hours a week. And that will be for a max of 8 weeks per person. I think that's a pretty good deal. The bridge to work.
You can only hire them for 8 weeks?
Each person. So you can get another douche, a slave.
It's another slave after 8 weeks.
I get another. Now the real slave
wanted.
No, you're not allowed to advertise that.
What?
Yeah, you're not allowed to advertise. Are you unemployed? Have we got a gig for you?
You can't.
No.
How do you get these people?
Well, so this is what.
Does somebody just knock on the door by coincidence and say,
No. You're allowed. Work? No, you're allowed to advertise. But if someone shows up, and they can actually sue you if you discriminate. That's another part of the bill. If you discriminate because someone has been unemployed. So here's how it goes. It's very simple. Because I've been through these tests. Right now, you can't discriminate against handicapped people, as an example. And if I have an interview with someone and I say, so that wheelchair, does that suck? Going up and down the elevator or stairs? If I don't hire that person, they have a very, very good case against me to sue me for discrimination because I asked the question. I cannot ask in a job interview, how old are you? If I ask someone how old they are, and you say, well, I'm 58, and I say, oh, that's great, yeah, cool, and I don't hire you, you can say, hey, he asked me how old I was, and I saw, and the room it went cold, and the guy's clearly discriminating against me because I'm old.
Yeah.
So you cannot.
I took these things too. They're really, especially in California, they're onerous.
Yeah.
You basically can't do anything. You just have to kind of figure it out, everything out for yourself.
Yeah. So you cannot advertise and say, are you out of work? Come work for me. You'll learn video production. I can't say that. But that's just a caveat because, of course, anyone who responds is going to be out of work no matter what in California. But then we have the summer employment and year-round employment opportunities for low-income youth. And these are the real slaves because, of course, youths get minimum wage. And the government will also pay for them to come and work for free at your company, which is just awesome. Then we have, let me just see a couple other things here. Here it is. Employment agents. Yeah, as an employment agency, it shall be unlawful employment practice for an employment agency to publish in print or on the internet or in any other medium an advertisement or announcement for any vacancy in a job as an employee that includes provisions stating or indicating that an individual's status as unemployed disqualifies blah, 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 blah. So essentially you can't say, are you unemployed? So that's the stuff that no one is talking about at all. So essentially rolled into this is the high-speed rail project, the infrastructure bank, and slaves for free. So, which I think is great. We should pass this bill. I don't even care. I don't want to read the next part about how it's going to get paid for. I think we should just go ahead and pass it. It'll be awesome. Free labor, free slave labor, high-speed trains, drones in the air, and all kinds of... Oh, and free homes. You and I can buy up a whole bunch of free homes.
Hey, I'm all for that one.
So that's it. You don't have to read it. You're done. If you want to, there is a copy with my highlights in the show notes at 340.nashownotes.com. And I would please ask you, if you love Barack Obama, go out and tell your congressman to go pass this bill. It's good stuff.